Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I have the very highly requested and very well-known Michael Beveraggi here with me today. What's up, man? What's going on, everybody? How you doing, man?
That was a hell of an introduction, man. I don't know about well known, but thank you.
Well, dude, you know how many requests I had like when I started doing interviews? Oh, you gotta get Beveraggi. You gotta get Beveraggi. You gotta get Beveraggi. So
I've
many requests.
It's crazy you say that because that's crazy that like one person would even ask. But I just like checked out some of your stuff yesterday. I had it before that because I just live in my own world, I guess. But you've gotten like people that make me look like a pebble, man. Like it's crazy. Good stuff.
Thanks, man. It's the grind.
Yeah, seriously, that's awesome.
Thanks, man. Um, yeah, but I mean, but bro, your grind the growth that you've had in, oh my gosh, you started in October, I think, right?
And so I just hit 6 months like last week or something like
Oh
that.
my gosh, bro, 36,000 subscribers in 6 months.
It's crazy.
It's
It's
crazy. It really is.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, I don't need, there's nothing else to say. There's no other way to put it.
Oh man, well, I mean, you got a great personality and you do a really good job.
Thank you, man. Appreciate that.
So, so for the people that might not know, obviously you're already putting in the chat right here. Oh, I love him so much, or Beveraggi, the Z Squad,
I
everything.
love you too. Yeah, squad.
um, so for people that don't know, can you give a little background?
Just as far as kind of how I got into it, or
Who you are, what you do, all the good stuff.
yeah, like I said, I've only been doing it for 6 months. I'd never touched YouTube before that ever. Uh, didn't really even mess with social media. Super low key, super private. So I feel like I would have done it maybe even earlier
Okay.
if those things weren't factors. But I kind of got a few people that kind of nudged me as far as you should go do this, you should go do this. And 2020 was 2020, and that was if 2020 never happened, I might not be sitting here, with the channel at all.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd say that's the reason I'm doing it. And yeah, I do the reactions. And that I mean that pretty much sums up what I do, man.
But
It's awesome.
I'm on your Patreon. You do so but I see that you do a lot more than
I do
just
a lot of
music reactions. You
yeah, I
do
do
a
a lot of
lot of
stuff.
reactions. Yeah.
I do a lot of stuff. I would say it's like 90% music. Like
Mm-hmm.
there's like a lot of film stuff on there that I do as
Mm-hmm.
well. But even some of the film stuff incorporates music. I try and jumble those
Mm-hmm.
things. But there are like completely non-music related stuff. Like I was doing Star Wars. One of my patrons, the wonderful April, has me watching Hannibal, which I'm so thankful for because that show is awesome, man. If you haven't watched it, you should check it
I
out.
haven't seen enough.
So sick. If you're like jumpy and scared of stuff, maybe not for you, which it gets me sometimes in that way. But yeah, I do a lot of stuff there, and the support on there has been like the craziest part of everything. Like
In
that
what sense?
actually, like that makes this sustainable as a borderline full-time job, and to think that you could even have the opportunity to do that, in my opinion, it's everything. It's everything. Like that's the ultimate reassurance you could ever need. Is people like taking X amount of dollars out of their bank account monthly to watch whatever you might upload. To me, that is
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah, it's amazing. So, is it your full-time job at the moment?
So I was working somewhere full time, like same company a lot of years until like February, and I took kind of a corporate position because I could work less hours, and I wasn't working from home. So I was like working 60-hour weeks outside of home, coming back, trying to get a video up. It was insane. So I stepped back, took a position where I could do stuff from home with a slightly less hours. So I'm still doing that, but I'm definitely, and I have been for over like a month, I'd say, transitioning to where this is going to be all I'm doing.
Wow. It's so fascinating like to see the different level like how numbers don't matter all that much in the sense of
I
like
mean, subscribers versus like Patreon count.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Well, like so like for example like you're looking to make this your full-time job with 36K subscribers and whatever the Patreon number is,
yeah,
but then there are channels with like 100,000 subs and they haven't either they can't or they haven't taken that leap yet. So I'd love to talk about the Patreon a little bit more,
yeah,
man.
for sure,
Like
man.
you are crushing that
It's
game.
crazy, crazy.
Can
I
you
don't
tell me
even.
about it? Like like how many patrons you have or patrons you have or like
I Last it's like almost 1,000 last I checked. It's like
oh my
around there.
gosh.
Yeah.
What do they start at? What's the cheapest model? Like
The cheapest one is 5, and that's
wow.
the most people are in that. Like I'd say 800-ish are in that range, and then
I
there's a
mean,
few more that are in
that's
the
four
higher
grand
range.
right there a month.
Yeah, it's
Oh
crazy.
my gosh, man.
That's
That's
good.
amazing. So
That's good.
like
That's
so
good. Quick math, man.
so yeah, I'm usually terrible with math. I made such a
So
fool of
like,
myself on an interview last week. It was stupid. Like it was. I was super embarrassed.
nah, it's all right,
But
man. We're not here for that.
the point though, like that I want to make with this, and the point of these interviews is really just to inspire other people that it's actually possible to to become a musician or to be a YouTuber or any of this stuff, because so many people, parents, friends, make fun of you and say it's not possible. You're a drop in the bucket. You're a one in a million kind of thing. It's like, well, no. If you really work your butt off and if you're smart about it and do it right, like it's possible. So like that's you're making, even on Patreon alone. Take out AdSense, take out any sponsorships, take out anything. You're making more than most people like make at a minimum wage job. You know what I mean? It's
Uh,
unbelievable. And in 6 months. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
there's not a single day that I don't think about that either. Like what you said.
It's so amazing.
Not one day. Like not an hour doesn't go by where I don't think about it. It's insane.
So why do you think so much? I mean, obviously the easy answer and the obvious answer is because of your personality and who you are. But like, what about the Patreon? Do you think has that many people signing up for it and staying? Oh, so I'd like to follow that question up with
That's
like
the hardest part about it is the sustaining the people to
that.
stick
Yeah,
around.
how often do you see, like, what's the turnover rate? Do most people stay? Do most people not stay?
Uh, so I don't. Another big difference between us, aside from technology, because you're a beast with that,
Thanks,
and
thanks.
I'm the worst YouTuber with technology. Numbers, man, I don't like. I'm so bad with numbers,
Uh huh.
so I couldn't tell you. But most of them stay. I don't want to guess a number. Um, but I'd say it's fair to say most of them stay.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're lagging a bit over here.
Uh-oh.
Hold on a sec. Let me test something out. Am I? I'm not lagging for you. I'm lagging over here, right? Test, test, test. Yeah, I think so. All right, hold on one sec.
Yeah, yeah. To do what you gotta do, man.
Let's try this. Testing. I think that might be better. Yeah. Okay. Let's try. There we go. I think we're
Yeah,
good.
you're coming in solid now. Before you were a little bit slow.
Oh, it was lagging for you too. Then
Or,
interesting.
yeah, on your end, yeah.
Yeah, I just changed the settings. All right, I think we should be good now.
Cool,
Uh,
man.
appreciate that. That shout out, Mosum. So I'd be curious to see like who is who between the channels like is like a mutual subscriber. You know what I mean? Like based on the content. Like there's a lot. I mean, like I said, a lot of people requested you on the channel, so it's interesting to see. You know what I mean?
Like what mutual subscribers we have and
Yeah, yeah,
whatnot.
yeah.
I wish, yeah, it'd be cool if there was like a YouTube has so many analytics, which I know you know all about. It'd be cool if they had something like that. But I know a lot of subscriptions are private.
That's interesting, actually. But I just mean like people. Like if I like, for example, if I shouted somebody out, like if you'd be like, "Oh yeah, I see them commenting on my channel, all the time." You know what I mean? Like that's what I really mean by it.
Yeah, yeah,
It's so interesting.
yeah, man. The
So
whole thing is crazy.
so going back to the Patreon, like, so what kind of stuff are you doing, and like the interaction you're getting is amazing. You know what I mean?
That's the best part is the interaction, and
Yeah.
it's my favorite part about it. Like if I was putting these videos up and still had the numbers, but people there seem to be like maybe mediocre enthusiasm about it. It might not be the same, but the fact that people seem to really enjoy what's going out there, I think that's how you sustain it too. Like you read what people say, which I'm very big on, and you retain that information and you try and keep doing that and make that better and keep that going. And
Yeah.
don't veer too far. Like I like to experiment a lot with new things, which I'm doing with the film stuff pretty soon, but I don't want to like completely change it up where they're like, oh, this isn't what I signed up for.
Interesting. How do you find that balance between like what's gonna get the views and what you actually want to do?
Huh. Good question.
I don't mean to put
Uh,
you in the hot seat at all. It's
no,
just
no,
something that
no.
it's something that I struggle with a lot, man. Because there's a lot of things that
Yeah,
I know will get the views, but it's like I don't know if I want to go down that route. You know what I mean?
I that's a good question, man. And you should definitely the hot seat questions you shouldn't even worry about because I'm all for it. I kind of stopped caring completely about that stuff, like
Okay.
the view stuff, as
Mm-hmm.
far as YouTube goes, anyway.
Okay.
A while ago, I'd say like a couple months ago. I'd be absolutely lying if I said that there's like I didn't watch a video because it was trending, like the Olivia Rodrigo video, right? The first one, which is crazy. The
With
reception I get from her,
yeah,
crazy.
650,000 views on that video.
I don't even.
You
Crazy. It's
yeah,
crazy.
it's crazy.
Crazy. I could just say that word over and over again. But like, obviously, her video is trending. I got a couple messages to watch it, but like not enough where like I go watch it just based on that. But it was trending, and the combination of those two things, I'd say, made me go watch it. Um, so that's kind of how I pick my battles as far as are the people asking me to do it slash do I want to do it? Like
Yeah.
it's a fine line, I'd say.
Has there ever been anything where you're like the people want you to do it, but you don't want to do it?
Yes, I won't check out artists that. So it's funny because I think cancel culture sucks. I think a lot of people don't give people the opportunity to like apologize and move on and grow.
Wow.
Um, but I won't check out artists that based on my feelings, my personal feelings, I'm not a fan of like a certain direction they've taken with like a message they were sending to people.
Okay.
So yeah, and there's a few artists that I have been asked to check out, and I haven't. I don't want to say who, obviously, but like,
Yeah, sure.
and I haven't checked out based on how I felt about
I
their
think
own.
that's cool, man. I think that shows integrity. I appreciate that a lot, actually.
Yeah,
Because yeah, that's great. I think that that's cool. You know, if you don't believe that the message they're showing, why would you want to just like promote that message on your channel?
yeah,
100%.
and I wouldn't be like genuine. Like I wouldn't be enjoying the video because I'd be thinking about, well, I
That's a
can't get
great
past
point.
this in my head, and I can't like the last thing I'll ever do is kind of fake something, so to speak,
Yeah.
and you have to in that situation.
Well, what about the times where like you're not anticipating something and you're like, oh, I really don't like this. You know what I mean? Like you kind of go into it expecting to like it or assuming you'll like it, and then you're like,
I've
not what I expected.
another really interesting thing. So I've there's been probably like four or five things that's happened to me a few times, like four or five times. But see, this is the thing though. Um, I do mostly albums now. I usually avoid the single song stuff for the most part. Like it's got to be an
Yeah.
artist that
Mm-hmm.
I know I have a lot of subscribers for that I know they kind of expect. Like the Little Mix music video came out.
Mm-hmm.
I know I have a lot of people that want to see me watch that, so I'm not gonna just not do it. Like I know they want to see that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but if I do a whole album, I feel like it's gonna be really hard for me to find much I'm not gonna like, right? Like you'd
Sure.
have to really butcher that album, which hasn't happened yet, thankfully. But I have done single song reactions that I haven't uploaded. Not a lot, but a handful, because I'm just like, I don't want to put that energy out there, but I also can't fake it. I didn't like that, so I didn't put it
Huh.
up.
Wow. Dude, aren't the album reactions exhausting for you?
Yes, yes, yes. Honestly, yes. Um, but it's how I listen to music. Like it's how I have always absorbed music. It's just
See,
how I personally have always done it. So it just makes sense to do that on the channel.
you were the kid that like would sit like say for example on his bed listening for 2 hours straight kind of thing.
Yeah, like I was trying to decipher everything and like how track one connected with track 12 and
Mm-hmm.
etc. And I can't do that when I do things spaced apart like that. So that's the way I do it on the channel. And that's pretty much what I'm exclusively doing for the most part now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's funny. People don't realize like
It's a lot. It's a
it
lot.
is. People have no clue. People are like, oh, you got to listen to music all day, which is 100% true. I'm incredibly grateful for that opportunity. But
Mhm.
when you sit there for 2 hours straight, you know, especially if it's like an hour and a half, like a Taylor Swift or Zayn 22 song album or something like that, you know, like or 26 songs I think with Icarus
Yeah.
Falls, like
Yeah.
you're there, and like you're exhausted. It's crazy,
It's a lot.
man.
That's why I spaced them out. That's why I probably do like two a week, maybe more or less, maybe one a week.
Hmm.
That's the reason I spaced them out personally, because
Yeah.
it'd be, I did an album week one time. I think
Hmm.
I hit a certain subscriber number and I forgot what it was. It was maybe 20K or something. I can't remember. And in celebration, I did an album week where I
Okay.
uploaded one album every day for 7 days. And
Wow.
I regretted it so quickly. Like day two, I was like, oh, this is, and the worst part about it too is that they go on Patreon obviously first, because I could just put it up there without worrying about anything,
Sure.
right? Then I have to go in and edit it, which is longer than listening to it because I have to literally second by second edit it. And that's how I edit them,
Oh, wow, we
second
have
by second.
very, very, very different YouTube styles. I don't edit
Yeah.
anything except like my vlogs. I literally press record and start, man. If I start stumbling over my thing, like It's in the video.
But that works for you though. Like I think if it works for you, then you keep doing it. But one
That's
album will take
funny.
me like 7 hours though, and that yeah,
Wow.
absolutely. So
Of
it's a full
editing or total process?
total like listening, editing, even uploading. But like while it's uploading, so I'll upload it to Patreon, and then while it's uploading to Patreon, I'll start my edit on to get the YouTube version up. So you're still working nonstop, but it's still
Hmm.
like 7 hours overall. Yeah,
That's amazing, man.
and to do
Well,
it, that's why you got to space it out.
yeah. It's wild. I'm still blown away with the Patreon numbers, man. That's so impressive, man. Like you really have something there. Like it's so funny, you know. It's so fascinating to see how like you can like these like every or every person succeeds in a different way. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
yeah,
you
for
are
sure.
crushing the Patreon game. You know what I mean? And then there's other people crushing other things, and it's just I think that it's so important. You know, for this is for all the listeners. I think it's so important, like to not compare yourself and be like, oh, but you know, Beveraggi has 1,000
Yeah,
people on his Patreon. You know, because that person might be doing something else. You know, and I think I'm highly impressed, man. That is such a crazy accomplishment, man. That
comparisons are a
is.
dangerous are a
Oh,
dangerous place
that's
to
why
go.
that's why I don't watch other reactors. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I can't even check some like channels. Like I try not to like look at other people's channels because it's exhausting and terrifying sometimes too. You know what I mean?
yeah. I still watch, but I completely get what you're saying. Especially seeing like numbers of video they might have done, like
Yeah,
that you did also. But
yeah,
like I think if you don't learn to just swallow that stuff, then you can never move on and enjoy what you're doing, right?
yeah,
So it's just
yeah.
like it's cool. I mean, look at what my Olivia Rodrigo video did, right? And there's like way huge channels that did the same video, and I know it didn't do the same, but like vice versa, like I'll have a situation where I do another song and it works the other way around. I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
that stuff either evens itself out or you, like I said, just live with it, move on.
yeah. Absolutely, it's so true, man. Where do you get your content from? Is it all through requests, and are those requests only through Patreon, or?
Um, like yeah, yes and no again. So I have a request here on Patreon that's maxed out because it's kind of you want to schedule, you want to do you only have so much time and whatever.
Sure.
So I do those on Patreon. Those are single songs though. And that stuff usually stays on Patreon.
Oh, really?
Uh, yeah, I was uploading it to YouTube for a while, but then it just started to be too time consuming because I'd have to edit it and then I'd have to get it blocked half the time and then re-edit it, etc. So it just they still get the videos. It makes it a lot easier for everybody. Uh,
Interesting.
yeah. Um, but the albums, I just kind of picked them honestly, man. I just picked them. What I like, I just did. I got no requests to do the last two albums that I did.
Like Ash being one of them,
I
or?
did Ash and I did Julia Michaels,
Hmm.
and I got no requests for them. I just wanted, and I didn't. I had never even checked out. No, I had never checked out either of them on the channel whatsoever. Like I
Mm-hmm.
may have had zero subscribers from each one as far as the big
Mm-hmm.
fans of them. I just wanted to do them.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so like I'll choose half the time,
Mm-hmm.
most of the time.
When did you like? I know you started reacting like to music and stuff. You started your channel back in October, but why reaction videos? Like, what? That's such a. It's. I feel like it's such a niche. Like most people don't even know what they are. You know what I mean?
I think because I found so much joy in them. Like
So
there's
you were one of the people that would watch them.
yeah,
Okay.
for sure, man.
Interesting.
Like when like I think I told you before, like you used to do Zane and I used to check out yours of Zane's. Um I used to be a big fan of Dylan Will Not Participate was his channel. I used to like that was my favorite YouTuber as far as the reactions go.
Which one?
Dylan Will Not Participate.
Is he still
Yeah.
around?
He does like movie reactions now instead or
He
something like that.
transferred.
He transferred over. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, he doesn't do music anymore. Yeah.
Wow.
But like I still subscribe, I still watch his stuff. Like I'm still a huge fan.
Hmm.
Um yeah. So like I always watched it and I always found big enjoyment from it. So it's like if you're a big fan of sport, I'm a huge sports fan. It's like the same thing, man. Like when I was a kid, I always wanted to be a baseball player. And that was because I loved baseball so much.
Mm-hmm.
So you watch the reactions, you get so much joy from them, and you talk to friends about it, and they're like, maybe you should do that. And you're
Wow.
like, yeah, for sure. I'll
That's wild.
try it.
What are some of the artists that you've found you've or discovered through like the requests and stuff that now you really like?
Oh my God. I don't even know where to start, honestly, because there's so. I mean, Little Mix is the biggest one, just because I didn't even
Mm,
know who they were before the
sure,
channel. Like there's like Shawn Mendes, Taylor Swift. Those are a couple other ones, but I knew who they were. Like I had already heard a couple things
sure,
by them. I
yeah.
was aware that they were great. But the Little Mixed stuff has just been everything, dude. Like I listen to them all the time. Um, they're crazy talented, crazy, just beautiful, strong woman. Just all the values I'm all for.
I
Uh,
really enjoyed Little Mix actually too.
yeah.
It was one of those groups that I had heard of them because like they just were around for a while, and I feel like they might have had one hit or something like that that like was on the radio.
Mhm.
Um, but then I was like, but then with all the requests, it was One Direction for me too is another one. I totally
Yeah.
thought that they were a bubblegum pop band, and I was just like not interested. And then I started listening to stuff. I'm like, yo, this is actually really cool, man.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. And One Direction is so big on YouTube reactions.
They were
Even though,
especially last year with their 10-year anniversary thing.
yeah.
It was huge.
Yeah. Yeah. And I was always a big One Direction fan. So that was they were a lot of the videos I was always watching because
Mm,
a lot of reactors would do them.
hmm.
So that's part of. I'm so thankful that I am a One Direction fan because I probably wouldn't again have ever done the channel if I didn't have their videos to watch, like people reacting to them.
It's so fascinating, man. It's so
Yeah,
wild.
it's crazy how it all works. Like
It all works
it's
out.
all connected somehow.
Yeah. Have you ever gotten into acapella music like pentatonics or anything like that?
I have definitely gotten requests for pentatonics. It's hard not like I said, I don't do single songs anymore. Like I
Mm,
will if it's a custom request. I haven't gotten that custom requested yet.
hmm.
Um, and I will if I get enough people to ask me for it. I'm not going to ignore that. Especially the people on Patreon, like a lot of them are asking, then I'll do it. But if I do them, it'll be an album for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I choose my albums kind of carefully nowadays.
Have you
So
gotten into Hamilton at all?
I just watched Hamilton.
What'd you think?
It's on my Patreon.
What'd you
Um,
think?
I literally just watched it like 3 days ago.
That's so
Great.
far. As a request or because out of interest?
It's been requested for a while. It's been requested for a while.
Okay.
It wasn't on my radar until the channel, and then people started asking for it.
Yeah.
And then I saw it's like 3 hours. So like when it's longer, I sort of maybe push it off a little bit longer because I know it's gonna be like a couple day event for me. With the editing, with everything. Like I gotta put those days to the side. But man, oh my god, I don't know if I've ever been so impressed
100%.
by everything. The
I couldn't agree
rapping,
more.
like not just the singing, the rapping,
Yeah.
the choreography, the lighting on like while scenes would change, everything was crazy.
I couldn't agree more, man. I was with the music aspect, I and the lyricists, like the
Yeah,
lyricism. Oh my gosh, it was unbelievable. And then they go see how they did it on the in the show. Like I was highly like that was another thing too. Like I'd say like 80% of the music that I like enjoy now is like all because of YouTube requests. Like I would
yeah,
have like my sister and my mom. I've said this 1,000 times on the channel. My sister and my mom tried to get me to watch Hamilton several times, and I had no interest. I'm like, it's a musical. I don't really care.
not your thing, right?
Bro, was I wrong, man? Oh my gosh, was I wrong?
That's funny how
I
that works
loved
too.
it. I
Even
loved it.
and not even just Hamilton. There's so many things that you are totally like, oh, I'm not going to be into that, and then thanks to the channel, you check it out. It's like you said with One Direction, obviously.
Sure.
It's like, wow, wow. With so
Yeah.
many things.
Yeah. It's amazing, man. So I'm curious your studio setup. It keeps changing, first of all, and second of all, I'm like, where's he gonna be today?
Yeah,
And there's a lot of stuff, man. Like,
yeah.
are they all different? Are they all different rooms, or how does it like? Every single video I watch is a different setup.
Yeah. I can't keep still, man. First of all, I have ADHD, so that definitely doesn't help. Like I can't keep still. I can't keep things still. I constantly have to move stuff. That's like a real thing. I'm not just saying that.
Sure.
Um, and that also makes it hard to do a constant rush of videos, like constantly, because I have to kind of focus my focus, so to speak, in waves.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, as far as the studio goes, man, yeah, it's one room to answer your question. But I've gone through like a lot of changes,
Sure.
like every week almost.
Yeah.
I just like
How do
gadget. I like gadgets too. Like I like Funko Pops. I like stuff. Like I like pops, like pop culture stuff. Um, since
how do you decide what's put into your frame here? You know what I mean?
so the stuff that goes
On camera.
on camera represents me. I think that's the best. Like even before the channel, I had like most of the stuff that's here represents me. There's a lot of Harry Potter stuff back here. I'm a
Hmm.
huge Harry Potter fan. Some Kobe stuff, huge Kobe fan.
Yeah, I
Like
see
that's
you post about him a lot on Instagram.
yeah. My favorite, my hero. Breaking Bad's my favorite TV show of all time. That's actually a vinyl. That's like the score to the whole show. It's so sick.
Whoa, that's cool.
Dude,
That's cool.
this thing is sick. It's
That
like
is
really
cool, man.
thick. It's got like all the episodes. This thing was maybe my favorite thing that I have.
I've never seen uh Breaking Bad. I gotta check it out.
You never seen Breaking Bad?
No, it's one of those things.
It's the greatest show of all time. I
I've
mean,
heard a
obviously
lot.
that's my opinion, but I mean,
Have you reacted to it? You should react to it. You gotta watch your own show, get paid for it.
I maybe when I have like I want to do another thing I want to do is listen to album like the One Direction albums and the solo albums. I want to do those albums on the channel. Um, but I've heard them already, so it's gonna kind of be like we're re-listening, we're checking out stuff that together.
Well, do you know Caitlin Marie reacts?
Yeah, she's the best, man. We're kind of friends.
Bro, can you hook me up with an interview? I can't get in touch with her.
Have you like hit her up?
Yeah, I mean on Twitter and Instagram DM. I mean, what I like. I'm not pressuring you to do anything, but like, I would love to talk to her, man. She seems so chill.
She's so helpful. She's I want to give a huge shout out to her because she's been one of the most helpful people on this journey for me. Like as far
Interesting. In
as
what sense?
just like little things like some technology stuff, some Patreon stuff,
Hmm.
like little things here and there, like nothing crazy, but stuff where someone like me who again struggles with the most basic of technologies, like I gotta ask some dumb questions sometimes, and she's helped out a lot with that.
Are you a bean?
Yeah, actually, I'm on her Patreon as a bean. Yeah, subscribe to her Patreon. Beans. Her Patreon's also awesome.
Uh-huh. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Why did you bring her up?
Oh, because thank you. Yeah. So um uh because I want to know what she does on her channel is those listening to One Direction for the first time in 2021 kind of thing. You know what I mean?
I think she's actually listening for the first time though.
No,
I've
no,
watched.
no.
Has she watched the videos before? Has she
Well,
like heard?
she's a huge One Direction fan. She's been doing their stuff for years. But like the title of the video is listening to listening to the Four album for the first time in 2021.
I don't. So I don't know. Uh, I'm not. I've obviously haven't spoken to her about that stuff, so I have no idea. But I know I watched those videos like in full, and she definitely had only heard a couple songs on the album. She was
Oh,
pretty.
maybe I'm wrong then.
She was pretty open about that. Maybe it's just like a title, because she
It
is.
could be, yeah.
If you are listening for the first time in a calendar year, then it's true that you. I, I don't know.
Yeah, I could be totally wrong actually.
Yeah, I don't know, but it's something that I do want to do though. Like, do all the boys have like what, like 13 albums between solo projects and group projects? Like,
Wow.
I'm gonna do all of them. There's just a lot of albums I have to get to first. A
That's
lot.
91 hours of editing time though. 13 times 7 I think is 91.
It is. It's a lot.
It's over. That's why you haven't done it.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it though. I'm gonna do it. I have a lot. I'm actually like right now. I'm on a pace of probably like 2 videos a week, but I'm gonna up that a little bit. Actually starting this
For
weekend.
YouTube or Patreon?
YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you post pretty frequently on Patreon.
I do post pretty frequently. Yeah. Yeah, I do. But as far as I should say albums, I'll start to do a lot more albums. Like I've been at probably like a 4 a month pace, and I'm gonna up that. I'm gonna try and do 8 a month, so 2 a week, which isn't like if I like one every couple days isn't that bad. While still doing my other stuff too, because there is like I'm still doing the film stuff and stuff. So
It's amazing, man. Some of the stuff is it's so wild sometimes. Like when you get to when you get to like chill and watch a movie or a TV show, and it's like that's your job. You know what I mean? Like it's so wild.
that's a good question because actually my friend put me onto a show, and he was like, I don't know if you can watch it though because I know you do it on the channel, and that was the first time I actually thought about that, where I was like, oh wait, that's a good point. This is the first like new show I've watched since the channel. But I think you just make a choice. Like I'm just gonna watch this on my own time
Hmm.
and kind of separate.
How much
What's
time? Oh, go for it.
No, I watch my shows the same way I watch them on the channel. So it kind of works out. Like it's not really that big a difference aside from editing.
In what sense? What do you mean you watch them in the same way?
Um, I'm a super emotional person. And like I am the biggest baby in the world. It's so bad. I'm like, it's I don't know. I don't know why. Don't know. Just am. So like what you see, like that's me when I'm by myself watching this stuff. So it makes it easy to like watch it with a camera because it's just like, well, you're just doing what you do if you were alone.
Do you pause it like you do in this in
I don't pause the shows. Yeah.
ever?
No, never. No. I
Oh,
never
even in
pause
your
them.
reactions.
Even in my reactions, I don't pause them.
Ah.
Yeah, that's editing hell. And that's yeah, I can't do that, man.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's plus the shows are different from music where it's like music I pause because I want to touch on something or something lyrically most of the time. Shows I feel like when you pause them, you kind of ruin how the story is progressing. It's like very specific. And suspense is like the biggest thing in TV shows, right? So when you pause, you're kind of destroying the suspense that's happening.
Interesting. I'd be curious though if you could like just post you like your TV show reactions to YouTube, just taking the video out, like and like especially because you don't pause them. I'd be curious
Yeah.
to know if you could literally just like say, okay, I'm starting in three, two, one, boom, and then they keep it with you the whole time.
That would make my life a lot easier as far as editing goes. But I don't know, like I don't that's aesthetically speaking, I'd rather have the visual on the screen.
Sure, of course, absolutely,
Yeah.
but I'd be curious to know. I don't know. I
Even though
mean,
it's more work.
yeah, of course. I mean, sometimes the work pays off in the end, but
And I don't get
like
paid for it and I won't get paid for it on YouTube.
yeah. Well, what do you mean?
Like it's gonna be a copyright claim.
Oh, with the video for sure, yeah.
Yeah.
But I've done a couple like four of the Julie and the Phantoms episodes,
Mhm.
um, and the only time it would get a claim actually is when
The
the
music.
song would come out. So I'd actually trim those or mute those songs. I never got a claim actually for the actual show. So it'd be interesting to know
That's
like
interesting.
if he literally just took out the. I also didn't show the video. It would immediately get blocked if he showed the video. But I would
Yeah.
just say. But a lot of these people, especially the people that have requested it, have already seen it or seen it multiple times. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? So that
that's a good point.
I don't know. I have no idea. It's just an interesting concept.
Yeah.
Maybe
Well,
for more content for you.
yeah, it's definitely something that I'll do anything to progress the channel, especially that channel actually, because I have the second channel where I do some of that stuff on there.
Oh, I
Um,
didn't know that. What did you elaborate?
I have a second channel. It's just my last name, Beveraggi.
Ah, I saw that when I typed in Michael Beveraggi.
Yeah,
So what is on
there's
that
two
channel?
channels.
Yeah. What is that? That one I think has like 11,000 subs or something like that, right?
No, it just has like 2,000. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
I don't really like I post on there like once every couple of weeks maybe, but that's where I put all the High School Musical stuff. And that's where I put just when I did Star Wars reactions, I put them up there too.
Why separate channels?
Because I don't want like I'd rather separate. You know, I know people come for one thing, and I feel like the film and music stuff is just so different. Like if they were more similar, like Hamilton, right? Like that's something I'd probably put on my main channel. But like Star Wars on a channel that does like a Shawn Mendes album reaction, it's just not. I feel like something people might want to subscribe for. So I just would rather keep it music and then keep it film.
Sure, I understand that. It's interesting. That's the age old debate of YouTube. Every single chat I get into with somebody on here on YouTube is that exact question. Well, is it worth having two channels or multiple channels or just one? But
Well, I know
I
you put
digress.
you put everything like
Yeah,
all sorts.
I vomit ideas onto my channel, man.
But your stuff is it's. I think that is makes more sense because it's not such a like a opposite direction of music. Like it's a lot of vlogs, right?
Yeah, I do it like with guitar jams or
And
vlogs
and
or
again, that's music
yeah.
related.
I
The
see what you're
vlogs are
saying.
you related, which is again music related because you're a musician and you are YouTube react like a music reactor. So I feel like that's all under the umbrella of music.
Interesting.
If I just upload a Star Wars reaction and someone gets a notification for that, they might not want that notification. And so I just try and think about that in that way.
That's fascinating. Yeah,
If
my
I like
subscribers
vlogging, I would probably
notifications
do together.
on the main channel.
Yeah,
When's the Beveraggi vlog coming?
never.
Why?
Dude, I don't even like even this is a stretch for me, even though
Uh,
I'm enjoying this. But it's just I don't
I
know.
hate this.
No, no, not at all. It's like I don't. So it's funny you say that because I watch a lot of vlogs. Um, I've seen yours. I've seen
I
Andrew.
appreciate
I'm
that.
a huge fan of Andrew Hales, who does a lot of vlogs. Loft, I think his name is this channel. It's just like his life, and he's pretty funny too. Uh, but when I like if when I put a camera on myself, I feel super pretentious,
Hmm.
and I can't shake that. And I wish I could. Um, but that's just like when I'm physically doing that, and I'm not providing like content that involves someone else. Like it's me. Like the artist, it's some. I'm listening to music. It's somebody else. Film, it's somebody. It's like media. Like it's somebody else. If
Yeah.
it's just me, I just feel, you know, I don't know.
No,
It's just
I definitely.
personal.
Sure. No, everybody's different, man. I totally get that.
And I'd love to. I wish I didn't feel like that.
I wonder if it would come with just practice, not necessarily practice, but like just doing it. I wonder if it would be something that like, see, like it's. But I guess we're all different though in the sense of like you watch a Casey Neistat video and he's like literally like,
He's a big
you
one too,
know,
right?
oh, he's huge. I mean, Casey
Yeah,
Neistat,
yeah.
yeah. But I'm
I've
just
seen a
saying,
couple. I've seen like him on airplanes and stuff. Like he does some crazy
exactly.
stuff. Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. Like he's literally filming an airport. Like I don't have the guts to do that. Like all my vlogs, like
yeah.
I'm like if I
You're
walk into a
on, yeah.
supermarket with
You
my
just put it like
camera.
you put it
Yeah,
away.
I'm like here, like super, like I'm not that guy, or I'm not the guy that's gonna go up to a Starbucks counter and like order a Starbucks with the camera in my hand. Like that makes me so uncomfortable. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Um,
100%, man. I agree with that. I got that too, but then I also have the thing where I don't even want to talk about myself.
I hear that. I hear
I
that.
I do I would like I said I some of it might be a reassurance thing. Like if I posted a vlog, and I got like a not even views, but like reception as far as enthusiasm from people saying like, "Oh, I like that," then I'd probably do it more. But I think that first step is such a huge hurdle for me right now, that it's probably far away.
Yeah, it's fascinating, man. It's like that means 1,000 views on a vlog means more, way more, 100 times more than me on 100,000 views on a video.
Because they're there for you.
It's unbelievable. It's the craziest feeling in the world.
Yeah,
I genuinely mean that. Like it blows my mind when a video gets that many. Like it would, and it's so funny as the channel grows. It's all progressive. Like it would blow my mind when I would get 100 views because I was used to getting 16. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like on a vlog, and then it'd be like, oh, 300 views. That was like that's crazy. You know, like so much so that I would
I
like text
understand.
my wife. You know what I mean? Be like, we got 300 views on a vlog. Like I was pumped, man. I'm
I think
like,
I think you should be pumped about that.
I agree. I think
Yeah,
I agree.
for sure,
It's
man.
so funny.
It's like with
It's so
Patreon. When I had, I'll never forget when I hit like 30 Patreons.
hmm
I had two friends, who were the first to sign up. I was like, hey, here's, sign up so it doesn't say zero.
Oh, what good friends, man.
Yeah, they're my best friends in the world. So they
That's
signed up.
amazing.
So I had two. And then I don't remember the timeline at all really, but I know that at some point I remember physically seeing the number 24 just because like that number is like my favorite number. So I saw the number
Kobe, yeah,
24.
sure.
Yeah, exactly. Good call. And then like I was 24 people. This is insane. Like it's
Yeah,
like what you said with the vlogs.
yeah.
Like people are come. This is me at this point.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's amazing, man. It's so fascinating. I'd be curious to know, and I don't know if there's a way of calculating, but I'd be curious to know, like, at what point, or if any point, like, people come to watch you rather than the content. You know what I mean? Like, that's interesting thing to think about. You know what I mean? Like, if
Yeah,
they're there, like, because so for example, like my channel, like I do a lot of different, like there are specific channels where it's like a lot of just straight BTS. You know what I mean? Or they only do like whatever a specific genre. But like I'll do anything,
hmm
kind of. You know what I mean? And I'm curious.
PG
So,
PG, right?
yeah, keep it PG
Yeah, I
13.
remember that. Yeah, I respect that. I respect that, man. Kids watch this stuff. I get it.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much the reason I wanted to become a musician is
Yeah,
because of
legit.
that. Yeah.
I get it.
But yeah, and it's just interesting. Like I'd be curious to know like at what point it changes from them being like, oh, I actually want to see this, even though I don't know who this is or care who it is, but because Jacob's doing it or because Michael's doing it. Beveraggi, what do you prefer?
Oh,
um,
I don't care, man. Yeah, either's
um,
cool.
I don't know. It's just, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I 100% will get what you mean. I think the vlogs kind of represent that a little bit, like that exact kind of
Mm,
definition that you're looking
yeah,
for. Like if I were to post a vlog, my first ever vlog, I'd probably get a pretty, and I maybe titled it vlogs. People knew what they were getting.
sure.
Like if it was my first one, I should say,
Hmm.
I think that would be a good representation of, okay, now I know how many people are on YouTube, I should
Oh,
say, just for
that's
me.
interesting. That's
If I
fascinating,
want to
actually.
test it out,
That's kind of horrifying that the fact that I have 60,000 subscribers and only 1,000 are actually there for me. Then on a good day of a vlog.
nah, man, nah, don't look at it like that, man.
I'm just kidding. It's still 1,000 people. I'm incredibly grateful. I'm totally
Yeah,
messing
yeah,
around.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
totally messing, man. That's funny.
yeah.
Where
And
did what were you
and
gonna say?
I know you're this like I know you're the same way because you say it all the time. Where like going back to that 24 Patreon count, I don't know what my number is right now. I only check twice a month.
Okay.
I won't check otherwise. I check
Yeah,
the first
that's
of the month.
smart.
Yeah, because I just don't want that in my head. I check
That's
the first of
smart.
the month, and then I check the last of the month. But that's for like budgeting reasons.
Sure.
Because that's your paycheck, literally.
Sure.
So in between, I don't really check, but um, that's why I don't often see the number until the end of the month. But that's why I think right now it's around 1,000. Like my feeling right now for that whatever number it is versus the 24 is exactly the same.
Sure.
And that's why this just feels so like I feel so at home doing this. And because I don't really feel that pressure. And like I know that like say the Patreon goes to like 3,000, right? Or which
Amen to that, man.
I know that's a big thing to wish into existence.
Oh, I think you could do it. I don't think there's any reason why you couldn't do it.
I mean, projections would say that it might go that way eventually, but we'll see. But say it also dropped down to like 700 or 500 or whatever, I would still feel the same way. I might have to
Sure.
pick up my hours, like back at my old job, but I would still feel the same way as far as like people are still like this. People haven't. It's not zero yet.
Yeah, absolutely. That's such a good point. So let's talk a couple. Let's talk tattoos. How often do you talk about those? Can I ask you about them?
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, I signed up for that when I got them.
That's a great point.
Yeah,
So I mean, you have as many hours you spend editing as you do on your arms.
yeah. It's a
that
lot.
you,
It's a lot.
it
Yeah,
is, man. It's
it's like
wild.
yeah.
And you have like chest and stuff tatted,
Yeah,
or
my chest, my back. Yeah.
wow. How old are
Uh,
you?
30.
Okay, so that's. I mean,
Yeah.
you must have started pretty early then, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. I started at 18 and I'd say around 25 to 27, I just completely kind of went crazy for a while. And then I got most of them were done by then, like 28.
How much are your arms and your chest worth?
Oh, I have no idea. A lot. That's too much. Too much. But
No, it's like, hey,
I don't
people are willing to spend $300,000 on a piece of fine art. So why
exactly.
can't you spend a couple grand on the art that's going to be with you forever?
That's how I look at it. That's how I look at it, man. Like you could, if you want to buy a Mercedes, buy a
Mm,
Mercedes. Like I buy tattoos.
exactly, and those will
Yeah.
last forever.
Yeah, absolutely, man. As long as
So, so
you
what's
know.
the meaning behind some of that? Can you share some of that?
Yeah. So I have a Harry Potter here. I got a Harry Potter tattoo. That's that.
Oh yeah,
So definitely hollows.
yeah.
Like the word love. I got the Mets symbol because I'm a big Mets fan.
You came from New
Um,
York, right?
yeah, I'm from New York. Yeah.
What
Uh,
part of the city?
the Bronx. Yeah, from the Bronx.
The
Yeah, man.
Bronx.
Yeah, boogie down, man.
I love that. But
Yeah.
you're in like the DC area now, right?
I'm in the DC area because I moved here when COVID hit. Because New York is crazy expensive. Even the Bronx, which is like the slums. Well, you're in what, Long Island?
Yeah.
It's not cheap there either. Like it's just all of New York. It doesn't matter. It's crazy. And
Yeah.
then I just wanted to get out ahead of it. I was in the restaurant business my whole life. So I was in the worst industry to be in for COVID. Well, one of the worst.
Hmm.
Retail might have actually been worse. Um, and I figured I'd like let me go find a place a little bit down south where it's a little bit cheaper and just ride it out,
Wow.
which
Cool.
I did. Now I'm here.
New job now or different job? Same company or
No,
different?
same company. I just took a position in a different state. Same company. Yeah.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah. I've always been in management, so it makes it easier to like move around.
Oh wow. Is
Yeah.
it a like a corporate chain or
Yeah.
something like that?
Yeah. Big, huge, huge. If you've heard it, like you've been there. Everyone's been there. Believe it.
Interesting.
Yeah. Everyone's been there. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Like
Very
everybody.
cool. Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah.
So do you find that DC's cheaper or
I'm actually in Northern Virginia,
okay?
but DC is like a 20-minute drive away.
Okay.
I just say DC because it's like right there and it's more, it settles the people better. They know it better. If I say Northern Virginia, they might be like, what town, blah, blah, blah. And then I got to give away more information. Like I'm super my default is privacy. Unlike
That's funny.
DC, they know what DC is. So it's,
Yeah, and they're not gonna be like, oh, do you live on East Street? You know what I mean?
yeah, they're not gonna, yeah, unless they're from there, then we have a
Yeah,
different conversation.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
but
true.
it literally is 20 minutes. Like I go there often. It's so
Uh,
nice to just go and walk. Have you ever been there?
a long time ago.
You gotta go back, man. It's just like nice to go and walk around and
Yeah.
so many nice stuff there. Not even like politically, just like beautiful sceneries and whatnot.
Sure.
And a lot of good food too.
Mm,
But
I
yeah,
love good
that
food.
brought me over here.
Is
But I
it? Do you
do
find it's cheaper?
it's definitely cheaper, yeah.
Really?
It's like I pay like 70% of what I was paying before, and I have the same amenities, like everything's the same.
So it's like 30% cheaper. You're saying?
Yeah, yeah, 30% cheaper, yeah. Like
Cool.
exactly. Yeah. But my lease is up soonish, and I am moving again. I don't know where yet.
Would you sign a 6 month lease or did you?
No, it was a year. I moved here like
Oh, you moved like
I ended up
straight pandemic, man. Like you
yeah,
were like,
a little bit after it ended, yeah. Or a little bit after it started, I mean. After it started, I'm sorry.
wow,
Yeah.
yeah. That was you moved like peak fear.
Yeah,
That's
man.
wild. Good for you.
New York was a scary place, especially like New York
Oh
City
my
was a scary place
gosh,
to
man.
be. It really was. Like,
I mean, yeah. Oh my gosh. And then you moved out way before any of the riots and stuff happened, man. Like that. I couldn't
yeah,
even fathom living in New York City. Like it must have been horrifying. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like
for sure. I can't
yeah.
even like the amount of people that probably aside from like the safety and all that stuff, but I mean like people that probably didn't know if they'd make their next rent check, like things like
Oh,
that were the scariest part to
so
me.
crazy, man. 100%. It's so wild. New York's not the same, man. Have you been back? Do you have family up here?
I've been back. Yeah, I've
It's
been
just not
back.
this. It's not the same. It's
No,
different.
it's not the same. I think it'll be the same again one day. It's New
Of course, it's
York.
New York.
Yeah, it's
Exactly. Exactly.
that's
Come
all you
on,
say.
man.
That's all you gotta say. It's New York, but it's gonna.
uh-huh.
I think it'll be a little while, maybe another year or two,
Uh-huh.
but it'll get there for
Mhm.
sure. For sure, man.
Yeah,
But
man.
I can't wait to move though, man. I'm excited.
Where are you moving to?
No idea. No
Different part
idea.
of the country or within your area?
No, in the country, but not the
Like,
same. It'll be a different state, but it'll be. I get to change my setup again. That's the most exciting part.
dude, you should make content around that. Film yourself setting it up and while you're putting places where you know what I mean.
Possibly.
Keep it private. Keep it private.
Maybe if I'm not in the video, yeah. Maybe if they just see the setup,
Yeah,
just
that's cool.
my hand.
Sure. Oh, we're lagging again on the video. I don't know what it is, man. We gotta figure that out.
I think it just started a couple seconds ago.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, it's so. Where do you want the channel to go? I mean, I will wrap it up in a couple seconds, but I do want to say thank you first of all for the taking the time, man. I appreciate
Yeah, for sure, brother.
it. It was good to chat, man.
Yeah, man, it's fine. It's been a while. Where I wanted to go, I have a lot of plans for it. I have very specific plans for the film side of it that I'm working on, and I don't want to get into it too much just because I haven't posted anything yet. Like I have
Okay.
a whole new format that I'm going to start doing that works better for me from an editing standpoint, and I think actually works better for the viewers.
Okay.
That's coming very soon, and I think that is going to be something I'll enjoy doing. And then here, I'm just going to keep doing this. I'm not going to stop doing albums, and music's never going to stop coming out, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to keep enjoying it. I'm going to keep enjoying, man. And I'd like to do more things like this right here, or with other YouTubers, as far as kind of like LeBron James has this thing called the shop. Kevin Durant, like athletes that kind of different athletes from different sports, and not even
Yeah.
just athletes. Like there's some comedians in there, but they're all part of more or less the entertainment industry, and they just talk, and it doesn't necessarily have to be about what we do, but they just talk, and I think that that would be kind of a cool thing as well to do. I'd like to get like make that a thing at some point.
Yeah, man, it's a lot of fun doing it.
That's kind
So
of what you're doing, right?
yeah, exactly, exactly. It's called the shop. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no,
I'm
yeah,
just,
that's LeBron's thing, the
I
shop.
know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
You're right. You're right. And I
That's
love that.
fun.
I love I just love like minds coming together.
Sure, absolutely, and it's cool. I think, I love seeing personally, like some of my favorite creators get together. So it's like, if I could help make that happen, it's cool.
Like separate YouTubers that might combine for a video.
Yeah, exactly.
Who has done that? Like, do you know anybody?
Yeah, unrelated to the music industry, but
Is it like
yeah,
business stuff and all that stuff?
yeah. That's all I watch.
Hey man, would you ever do that on your
Do what?
channel? Like business stuff?
Not like stock markets. I'll never say never to anything. I mean,
Yeah,
I already like I go live every morning, and like I already listen to the stock market on my live stream, so it's like,
there you go.
you know what I mean. But it's like I kind of already am. But like I don't really necessarily talk about it. Like I'm pretty passionate about like finances first of all, but like finances. I would very much consider and probably like I've started to here and there. It's just like it's hard because like nobody watches them, so it's hard to spend the time to edit them.
Mhm.
But like music related finances, how because musicians or artists in general like notoriously bad with money.
Have you done those videos before?
I've done a couple here and there, you know what I mean, like when it makes sense to get a record label, or when it makes sense to like all this like what like and then start I would like kind of break down music terms and like just to help, because I'm fortunate that like I acknowledge the fact that I think that I'm able to use both sides of my brain,
Mhm.
the creative and the financial side, the analytical side. And I think that so many artists aren't, and I would love to just help them out before they get screwed, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yo, I've never. You're talking artists as far as music artists, I assume, right?
All artists, honestly, but I
All
mean,
artists.
I'd probably be a little bit more catered to musicians, but like, but I'm talking all artists, like creatives in general.
Like even
Usually,
us. Like
oh,
what we do.
100%,
Okay.
100%. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think that we're just notoriously bad with money. We just don't
I've
get.
I've never looked at my analytics. Not one time. Not one single time. I looked at the countries people are watching from because that was something that just personally was interesting to me. But I've never looked at analytics. But I think that it would benefit me to probably check it out once in a while. So
Sure.
what you're saying is
Yeah,
right.
and so that's what I'm passionate about. I definitely want to see artists succeed, and but even like from a money standpoint, I think so many artists get screwed on gigs and stuff because they just don't know. You know what I mean? It's like, well, honestly, even like for example, like you reach out to me. Here's a really good tip for anybody that is in some sort of client business. You know what I mean? Like or sponsorship. Like for example, sometimes when a sponsor reaches out to me, I'll be like, they'll say, hey, can we do this video? We have a budget for this. I'm like, okay, cool. And then they usually, because they're smart, they're like, what can we pay you? But then that puts that ball in your court because they could be expecting to pay you $10,000, which
Then yeah.
but like, and if you
Yeah.
say, oh,
You say
$300,
yeah.
so I actually turn it back on them. It's actually, well, what's your budget for it? And then they have to go and put something out there. And then normally, say they say $200, I'll be like, oh, okay, well, I was actually thinking more of three. You know what I mean? Because you counter
Yeah.
their offer.
Okay.
You know
So
what I mean?
they should start with the number is what you're saying.
Yeah,
More
but
or less.
but so if you're smart, you don't start with a number. So that's why they put the ball in your court. Because like I said, if say I have a budget for five, say we're working together, right? And I say, hey man, like I would like to hire you to react to this video, and you say, okay, that'd be great. And I say, what do you charge? But I had budgeted $500. You know what I'm saying? And you're like, you say you're just starting out or something like that, and you're like, oh, I don't know, how's $20? You're like, I'm like, cha-ching, like I have $480 that I didn't have to spend now. But if you're like, oh, what's your budget? If you ask me now, I'm like, oh, well, my budget's 500. That could be way more than $20 you were expecting. So you should be like, oh, well, actually, I could do 400 for you. You know what I mean? It's still $300 more than you were expecting, and they still think that they're getting a deal. You know what I mean?
But this is in the music industry specifically.
Anything. This isn't anything, I think.
So that's almost a manager, almost.
I guess that's
Like,
I just had a management team on an interview yesterday.
oh, you did.
Yeah, and it was like, you guess when you put it like that, it's like, I guess you're right. They're the people that they explained it as the people that are the mediators between like the artist and what blank, whether it be the label, whether it be the book, the venues, the contracts. I guess you're right. It is a manager.
Unless you're really good with that stuff. But at a certain, I guess it depends on your demand
Yeah,
and
yeah, sure,
what's on your plate.
exactly, exactly.
But if you're good at that stuff, then
No, but I want to teach other artists that kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
okay.
That's like I could see myself doing videos like that potentially one day.
There's a lot of people that could use that sort of knowledge, man,
We'll see.
information.
We'll see.
Hey, I've had a couple. I've had at least two. My emails are a disaster, but I've had at least two like sponsorships reach out, and but I didn't even know how to. I didn't even consider it just because I didn't like want to get messed with.
What do you
Like,
mean mess? Oh, like let them screw you kind of thing?
yeah, like I've never been in that situation
Yeah.
before in my whole life. So
Yeah.
whatever they provided to me, like whatever they could have, they didn't say in the initial email. It just wasn't to me worth the potential of kind of being screwed over.
Yeah. There are certain like the ones that I would do personally are the ones that I feel like are a lot more like legit. Like for example, like DistroKid, like if you release music, like they reached out to me. Like that's like that I personally release my music through them, you know what I mean? So it's like when
If you
they
use, I guess if you
ex-
already use them,
exactly, where as opposed to like, some random like water bottle company that reaches out be like, "Hey, can you put this water bottle in your video for 30 videos?" And I'm like,
that's another thing too. Is that I don't like one of them specifically was something I would never. I'm not against the company, but like something I don't need. So I can't be there and be like, hey, like you should get this Psyduck because don't you
yeah.
like Pokemon?
Are you a
You might not.
Pokemon guy?
I'm a huge Pokemon guy. Yeah.
Bro, your
No,
your
I'm a big nerd,
interests
man.
are huge, man.
Yeah,
Harry Potter, Pokemon stuff. I guess they're all kind of within one genre, but
nerd. They're all in the nerd
I'm
genre.
not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it.
That's what I am. So I'm owning up to it. We should be more proud to be nerds. But on the topic of sponsorships, if Chipotle is watching, I want you guys to know that I would love to be sponsored by you.
Preach. You and me both.
Oh, you too?
I actually would love to be sponsored by Cheez It.
Oh, Cheez-Its are awesome, man.
Oh, I love Cheez Its, man.
Great snack. Great snack.
100%. I would love to be sponsored by Cheez Its.
Yeah.
But they're such a big company. I mean, the chances of you being sponsored by Chipotle are way better than my chances. No, they're way better than my chances of being sponsored by Cheez Its.
Oh, you think? Like, it's the Bisco, right?
Probably. But like I feel like Chipotle is so like in pop culture. Like
Yeah,
they actually care. Like, you know what I mean? Like
there's tons of like musicians that are get the cards and
the
whatever.
life card. Yeah, exactly.
That's what I want. I'll wear a Chipotle shirt in every video for a life. I'm not kidding.
You should reach out to them. Reach out to their media team.
I've hit them up on Twitter.
There's
in like a joking way.
There's a free app called Clearbit, I think it's called. Like a Bitmoji, Clearbit, and it's you can connect it to your Google Chrome, and when you sign up, you type in a company name and it shows you all the related emails in that. We're lagging again. I apologize. I gotta figure this out.
Okay.
It shows you all the related emails in that, and so you type in like Chipotle, it would show you like the CEO and his email and like all this stuff, and it's public information somewhere on the internet. It just finds it for you, so it's like not like you're being like sketchy about it. It's just like somewhere deep in the Chipotle website, it has the PR management site or email that you're probably just not going to find, but it finds it for you. So you could just scroll through and like you're not going to need like the Chipotle like whatever. You'll need like the brand manager. You know what I mean? Like you're not going to need the CFO, the chief financial officer.
Yeah, they're not going to help you out with that.
But you'll need like look for like the brand manager or ambassador manager, and you just shoot them an email.
What's it called?
I believe it's called Clearbit. If it's not Clearbit, it's Clearview, but I think it's Clearbit, and it's just a free Chrome extension in your Gmail.
Hey man, that's as if you use it every day and you actually like stand by what they represent, then that's the only sponsor I'd ever consider.
Really? Just Chipotle?
No, not Chipotle, but like
yeah.
One like that, like you said, DistroKid.
Yeah.
You use them, so it's perfect.
Yeah.
And I Chipotle has vegetarian options. Like it's they employees are fantastic if you ever go in there. Like, it's just everything I'm all for.
You know
Especially
what though?
as a restaurant guy.
Maybe you could get them to stop charging so much for guac. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I mean, those corporations are gonna do what they gotta do.
I'm
So.
just messing with you, man. It's so funny. It's so funny. All right, last question for you today
Yeah, brother.
is what do you order at Chipotle?
I'm really, I get, I'm really simple, man. I get a chicken bowl, and
Okay.
I get everything in it except guac actually,
Really?
because it makes it too like, because I get
Mushy.
sour cream and cheese and all that stuff, and the guac just makes it all too mushy at that point.
Mhm.
I get everything else, literally everything.
You know what I really like? I like the sofritos, the tofu.
I've never had those.
Oh, it's so good. It's spicy.
I've only had chicken. That's how like consistent I am, and I've been there a lot,
I appreciate that. That's
a
funny, man.
lot, a lot. So Fritos, you said?
Yeah, I think it's a fancy word for saying
Is it plant based?
yeah, it's tofu.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, it's very very good.
Yeah.
I'm not a plant based guy, but like I tried it once and I was like, this is fantastic. Now it's
Could-
pretty much only what I get there.
Hey, if
Like,
you could,
another Chipotle tip actually is if you get a bowl,
I'll take it.
you can ask for a tortilla on the side, and they don't charge you for it, so you can
So you have to
actually
like
make it.
roll it.
You can roll your own.
You just gotta do the labor.
I guess you're paying for the labor. No, but what you could do is I think you get more in a bowl, but like you don't have like
Yeah.
what my wife and I'll do is like we'll like rip pieces off, and you can like kind of just eat it together, not like make your own burrito. You just like like have a little tortilla, have a little bowl, have a little tortilla, have a little bowl, have a
Yeah.
tortilla and bowl.
I mean, it's basically a burrito, but like not wrapped because you get the same ingredients going in,
It's
right?
an unwrapped burrito.
It's an unwrapped burrito. I respect that, man. We gotta work the system of the corporations when we can. All for that.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate your time. Anything? How can the people that are watching support you and what you're doing?
You just check out my videos on YouTube, Beveraggi.
What's your Patreon link? Well, like, what is that?
It's just Beveraggi. I'm pretty sure if
Okay.
you just, or it might be Michael Beveraggi, one or the other, but I'm the only Beveraggi on Patreon, so you'll find me on that. You don't have to sign up for that though, but like if you go to my YouTube and you like that stuff, then check out the Patreon.
Beautiful.
Up to you.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much for hanging. I really appreciate you. If you could just hang out for 2 seconds. Thank you so much
Yeah,
for everybody
sure, bro.
that has been watching. I really appreciate you guys. Definitely go check out Michael's stuff. He's the man. He's definitely crushing it on Patreon and definitely crushing it on YouTube. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next stream. God bless and peace.